Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
I'm your host, Devin.
And I'm your host, Kendra.
We are real moms.
Sharing real experiences. The things people don't tell you.
Hey, mama, hey.
Hey, mama, hey.
How you doing, friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. If this is your first time listening, I'm your host, Devin.
And I'm your host, Kendra.
Welcome to the Real Mama Pod.
Welcome. As you all can see, we have two guests.
Who are they?
So we have Demetrius and Jamicia Grigsby. Mm-hmm. Demetrius is my first cousin, and Jamicia is also my cousin through marriage, but we all went to FAMU together.
Yeah, she's my Neo. We the Reds.
Right. So it's a lot of intermingling here.
Yeah.
But yes, Dee and Jamicia are here to talk about something really cool that they're doing.
Yeah.
And we're both excited to talk about where this process has gone, where it's going, and just how proud we are of them and you know, where their business is going to take them. So I will let Dee and Jamicia share what that is. But first, we have to talk about y'all being parents.
Mm-hmm. So briefly, tell us about your journey to parenthood.
Right. So yeah, we had an interesting journey to parenthood. We were married in 2015, and at the time I was still in school, so we knew we wanted to wait to have kids for a little bit. So 2018, we decided that we wanted to go ahead and start trying. I would say I started trying in May, and I was pregnant in June. So it was very fast, unexpectedly. And so we were excited. And then I think when I was around maybe 6 weeks, I had an episode of cramping and spotting. And so I just felt like something wasn't right. So I contacted my doctor. They pretty much gave me the runaround, said, you know, it's normal, you know, just watch it, see what happens. And it was continuing for maybe a week or so. So I took myself to the hospital, to the ED. They wouldn't give me an ultrasound, but they did take my blood work to see what my hormone levels were. They told me to come back for a recheck in 2 days to make sure it was doubling. I did all that. These people never called me back. They never called me back to give me the results for the test. Luckily for me, I work at the hospital, so I was able to look at my own chart and get the information. But, you know, had I not done that, I would have had no idea, you know, what was going on. And they never did call. I ended up seeing a Black OB one day in the lunchroom, who is an amazing doctor. And I pretty much pulled up on her and was like, hey, this is what's happening. Nobody is telling me anything. Like, I need to know what's going on. And within an hour, she had an appointment for me the next day. So again, examples of us as Black women having to self-advocate, you know, when we know something is not right. So long story short, we ended up having an ectopic for our first pregnancy. So definitely unexpected, but you know, we pushed through, and I mean, by the grace of God, 4 months later, we were pregnant again with our first daughter, Nia, and that pregnancy went without a hitch, no complications. And then 3 years later, we had our second daughter, who is now 7 months almost. So, yeah, so we had an interesting journey. And happy to be amongst the number.
Yes, indeed. Sorry about your ectopic pregnancy.
Yeah, it happens more often than we think. You know, as we know, it's more common, you know, than what we think it is. At the time, I didn't know anybody who had gone through that experience, so it was a little bit different. So you know, I know you shared your journey, and you know, it's something that happens, but you know, there is a light afterwards, and you can still have successful pregnancies, as I have had 2 of them after that. So you know, there is a rainbow at the end.
There's the light. There's the light. You were the first ectopic that I ever heard of.
I was the first one I ever heard of. I had no idea what that was. I had never heard of it, so it was new to me. So yeah, but I'm a lot more versed in it now. So
yeah. Well, thanks for sharing.
Dee, anything you want to add?
I mean, just as a father, the first one was like I was checking on her like every single day. The second one, same thing. Just making sure that she was okay. And because I mean, I don't know what she has to go through
right
every day. You know? I mean, I know what I have to do. but I don't know the weight that she carries, and I just wanted to make sure that she was okay in each pregnancy. I'm pretty sure I got on her nerves, but I'm cool with that. Because, I mean, if I got on her nerves, that means I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Right.
In my mind. And we've delivered 2 beautiful kids. I love my girls. They're the world to me. You know, sometimes they work my nerves a little bit. I'm on lie.
As all kids, they work their parents' nerves.
But just being a girl dad is, man, they got a string on my heart.
Oh.
They tug.
They tug.
They know exactly what to do. Like even the youngest one, like she knows exactly how to get me, and it's like, I'll hold her for 20, 30 minutes while I'm trying to do stuff. I'm good with my left hand now. So, but yeah, no, like I got a strong wife, and I really appreciate everything that she does, and that first episode kind of made me what I consider to be a man.
Look at you being sweet, cuz.
Don't make us cry. That was really sweet. Okay, Eloure Beauty. Let's talk about it. What made y'all want to get into the hair industry? You're a pharmacist, accountant. Like, how did we get to hair?
Let me tell this story.
Okay, tell it.
All right, so we moved. So like, if anybody know Jacksonville, like it's big. So we moved outside of the perimeter, and where we at now, where we're recording, it's like a 20-minute drive to get to the hair store. Not even 20 minutes. So 20 minutes is a good day. No traffic, right? But with traffic,
30, 45.
man,
Yeah.
it's like Atlanta. So
Atlanta got hair stores on their block though.
yeah, but we ain't got hair stores. So like one day we were driving. I think we were going to pick up the girls. She was like, "Man, I need a hair store." She got tired of going off Moncrief and Myrtle, like over by your grandma's house. You stopped by your grandma's house. You went off of Moncrief and Myrtle.
I mean, if I was in that area.
If you were in that area,
Yeah.
or you were off of Dunn.
Dunn Avenue typically, or like
Okay, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. But in a sense, I mean, 30, 45 minutes just to get some hair. She was like, "We need a hair store." And in my mind, I'm like, okay, cool. Like let's do it. And she did the research, and when she did the research, found the appropriate people to consult with about this hair store. I was like, I'm all in. And
yeah, I would definitely say, yes, moving to this side of town, I needed a hair store because I go to the beauty supply store quite a bit. And it was just inconvenient for me to have to drive across town to get the things that I needed. But more importantly, when we think about the history of beauty supply stores, and I'm sure you all have been in plenty, over the span of your life, that experience has never been one that's memorable, I would say, for good reasons. Typically, the service is typically not up to par. They really don't have a personal understanding of our hair products, and it's more so our culture being just sold back to us. And so for me, I felt like this would be a really good opportunity for us to have a convenient hair store in our area, but really create an experience for women, for Black women, where they can come, feel celebrated, have a much more elevated luxury experience, a shopping experience that we deserve, because we spend so much money on our hair care products. And, I just think it's time for us to create a shift in that industry. It's been, dominated by people who don't look like us for as long as I can remember. And so, I think right now is really important for us to shift that narrative and get some ownership and be more than consumers. And so Eloure Beauty Supply is here to fill that void.
Love it.
I support that 100%.
Absolutely.
I do. So as you were doing your research and as you all were developing your business, like what challenges have y'all faced while tapping into this industry?
Well, Devin made a good point. I'm a pharmacist and my husband is an accountant. So no idea of how to start a business, especially in an industry where it's so hard to break into if you are not of a particular persuasion. So I think just really learning how to establish the business was something that we had to kind of navigate through, and we hired a consultant to help us with that. And really just being able to establish the necessary relationships with vendors. I would say that's probably been the biggest hurdle so far, because a lot of times if you are a minority store owner, the key accounts for the hair brands that we all love and know, we're denied access to those accounts. And so then we have to go to third parties to try to purchase these items.
Can you explain a little bit more what that denied access was?
Yeah, so in order to sell hair and hair products, you have to create accounts with the vendors who create those hair products. And so you basically submit an application, you give them information about your store, and then they come back and say, sure, we'll partner with you, or no, we're not going to give you this account. And so for a lot of the major hair brands, if you're not connected, those accounts are denied. So and you can't purchase the items directly from that vendor. You have to find a third party wholesaler who is, obviously they have to get their cut as well. So now you're paying more money for these products in comparison to your competitor who's getting them for a much lower rate. So
wow.
It's a whole thing. So we're working to overcome that, and ultimately we'll do what we have to do because we want to have the products that people want. But just having people understand that sometimes, I think Black-owned businesses get a bad rap for having higher pricing, but that may offer some insight, as to why.
That's interesting. I would have never known that, and it makes you kind of question a few things.
If you are the gatekeeper, you're gonna gatekeep. So it's difficult, but we're navigating through it though.
Let us know if we need to strap our boots on
and who we need to email.
Right.
I'm good for sending a nice little email.
Something in writing.
I don't think it's an email. I think it's really letting people know where your business is, and that's why it's so important to being able to keep really good financials, because that's the issue with a lot of our businesses is we have great ideas, but we don't have the financial information to show like what we've actually done. Like when you think about small business, it's like the NFL, especially like for Black folks. NFL, it's about what have you done for me lately? And when you look at Black businesses, it's always, what have you done for me lately? You've got to show a level of consistency. 1 year is not consistent. 2 years is not consistent. 3 years is not consistent. We have to exceed the par every single year. So in order to do that, you have to have strong financials to show that you've exceeded that particular par, right? And that dives deeper than just the financial statements, your pricing, and like my wife said, our pricing is a little higher because we have barriers to entries. We can't get those big brands right away, so we have to charge higher prices because we have to go third parties. So it's about providing that level of consistency over time, and that consistency is not it's not necessarily always based on your price. It's based on how many people are coming in there, how many people like your store. If people are buying there, people are gonna invest in that. And what separates you from the competition?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good points. Good information to share out, because those are a lot of lingering questions that folks in our community have because of just the way the world works.
Yeah. And I will add that is another point of, I guess, barriers for entry as far as gaining those accounts, not having an established rapport or having no proof that you sell items. And so you do have to on top of, being a minority, you also have to prove that you can have longevity and that, it's worth it for them to even give you their product. So that is another portion of it outside of the minority part, not having anything to stand on to show that, you be a partner. So
yeah. And I've been doing like accounting for 10 years. Well, not even 10 years now. What years? 20? 2023.
Oh, what did you say? 20 years.
I've been doing it for more than I've been doing it for 11 plus years now. And it's still hard for us. And we have to consistently prove that we're above par. We don't get the opportunity to fail.
Yeah.
If we fail, we fail. Anybody else, if they fail, they got another chance, like Mario. We don't get that chance. No, for real.
Mario,
Straight
Super
up,
Mario,
like Super Mario, like a video game. Like they get extra lives. We start out with no lives. We don't get that chance. So we have to be better than everybody else. We have to understand the dynamics of that particular industry better than everybody else. Because if we fall hard.
Yeah.
And we don't get that chance.
Good.
Mama or a woman in general, and you are struggling with your libido, we have found the trick. She-O has done the job. We have been more engaged intimately with our husbands. We have had all the fun. And when I tell y'all the fun, we have had the fun. And guess what? We don't have to put towards so much energy because this has done the trick. And if y'all don't believe us, check out the reviews.
Yep.
Check
the link in our bio and use code MAMA, all caps, for extra discounts. But order it today. That's all I gotta say. Order
today. And like we said, if you don't trust us, read the reviews.
Okay, so as a couple in business, right? Because Jerry and I struggle a lot too.
clear my throat.
So, what are some rewards as being a couple in business together? And then how do y'all handle conflict when there is an issue? Because I know that there are issues.
Business is a funny thing, especially when you're doing it with your partner. I would say rewards are we get to build this legacy together, and I think it's brought us closer as husband and wife because it's something that's really important for us as far as leaving generational wealth for our daughters and for our families. And so I think us working together to make that happen has, I think, strengthened our marriage. And we get to spend a lot of time together. So I guess we do good in that. But we spend a lot of time together, so we never really have an issue there. Challenges? What would you say? I think maybe you've been spending too much time together.
I mean, when I married you, like when I asked you to marry me, like I was cool. Like we had to be together 24/7. I was cool.
Well, I'll say when I say spending too much time, I mean I think because we work at home and then we're also working on stuff for our store at home, it's hard sometimes to like turn that switch off from working on things because there's always something that we have to be doing. And so I think trying to be intentional about turning that switch off and just being husband and wife probably be the biggest challenge. Just making sure that we're doing that and not solely focusing on our businesses and our work life and our children. But I think we handle conflict pretty well. I think both of us are very intentional about how we speak to each other. So I know if I'm upset, just like give me a minute and then we'll kind of come back and revisit. And I think he's the same way. And then we'll typically
I'm a little meaner. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little meaner. And like if I feel a certain way, I will let her know that. But I've worked on myself.
Okay.
I've worked on myself. Is that the camera? Which camera I'm looking at? This one. I have worked on myself. Because I can be mean.
You're a Capricorn.
But, she's patient with me. And I think the biggest thing is I know that when she tells me something, it's not out of a sense of she's trying to undercut me. And when I tell her something, I'm not trying to make her feel like lower than what she is. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever decision that I make, I got to make sure that her and my 2 babies, they benefit from it. If they don't benefit from it, then it's not a good decision. So, like, and if she can't weigh in that decision, it's not a good decision. So, but I have to work on me because my patience is very, very thin, and she's worked with me, and I love you.
So, in other words, don't take things personally. We leave business with business. And we try our best to separate the two, business and personal.
That's good. Sounds like y'all got a good system. So, obviously, you have shared that you have daughters. Do you all aspire for them to carry on this family business, or essentially do what they want to do, or do what they want to do and carry on the family business?
I prefer they do both. I mean, I definitely want my daughters to explore life and do whatever it is that's going to make them happy as women, as individuals. But yes, obviously I'm doing all this work. So I would want for this to stay, within our family, even if they're just running it, from the sidelines. I definitely would want it to be something that they continue to carry that torch for. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, look, they got equity in the business. So at the end of the day, y'all own it. I mean, I don't want y'all to sell it. But y'all can come down and say, Nia, Naja, if y'all looking at this episode later, look, y'all own this business. And I want y'all to be able to have say-so in, where the business goes.
You support them?
Me and your mother want that. And, I'm gonna teach y'all.
We support them and we support y'all. We support y'all. So, do we have any more? We have
the question is, when is Eloure Beauty opening its doors?
That's the $1 million question.
Soon and very soon.
Yeah, soon and very soon.
Okay.
We don't have an exact date right now. Just with the way things go, we have learned as we've gone up this learning curve that we can have our timeline, but there are other powers that be that also have to. Everything has to come together the way it's supposed to, and we're not gonna open our doors until everything is right. So we're shooting for summer, early summer. So definitely look for us around that time. June, July is what we're looking at.
That's exciting.
God willing.
It will happen. Listen, we launched this podcast many moons ago. So, I mean, we had a whole launch date that just didn't happen. Yeah, so it takes time, and you got to be patient with the process.
We are definitely learning to be patient and to not to have any hard dates. Things happen and things come up. And
be flexible.
You have to be flexible, otherwise you will drive yourself crazy. But we will be open, and we look forward to having you all.
Yeah, we got to do a video for
that, and I will be buying products
for sure. But we have to do like a little something.
We'll do something.
Get y'all some wigs.
Y'all know I be. That's what
braiding hair.
Braiding hair. Oh yes, for sure.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm country.
It's okay, cousin. I'm
it's the
a whole co-host from Pensacola. Well, thank y'all both for sharing the story of Eloure Beauty. We can't wait until the store opens, and we'll be here to celebrate.
If you don't mind, cuz I want to leave people with a little advice.
What kind of advice you got? What kind of advice?
Straight up. Entrepreneurship is not a cop-out. This ain't easy. Sometimes it's going to take you to work at 5 o'clock in the morning.
4:30.
If you're not willing to do that, 4:30, 2:30, whatever. I'm looking in the camera. If you're not willing to do that, this is not for you. If you don't understand your numbers, this is not for you. If you're not willing to sacrifice, this is not for you. Keep your 9 to 5. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let nobody fool you and tell you, oh, entrepreneurship is... No, it's hard. And we got 2 kids. It's hard. Very, very hard. Like, even after we get off this episode, I might do some more work tonight. What time is it?
It's
I ain't
midnight.
got my watch on.
It's 12:22
midnight.
a.m.
12:22. It's hard. It's worth it, but it's hard. And if you don't understand your numbers, if you don't know where you're going, don't do this. Keep your 9 to 5. Be okay with it. It's cool. But understand, if you want to jump into this pool, you better be willing to jump in on the deep end. And if you're not doing that, don't jump in this side.
That's real.
Yeah,
It's hard.
It's definitely, as you heard, it's 12. It's midnight.
It's midnight. We working.
we got
Kids wouldn't go to sleep. Okay. Just all kind of struggles.
Well, we thank you, ladies, for having us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
if people want to find you on social media, where can they find you?
So our business, Instagram, Eloure Beauty Supply. Instagram at Eloure. That's Loure Beauty Supply. And my personal Instagram is at Missy. Yep. So that's Missy. MECIE _Y 3 U's a P _32.
And whatever her Lord thing was, that's what.
Okay.
But if y'all need an accountant,
Mm-hmm.
y'all can find me at FISCLJAX. Fiscal Jax. Or y'all can go to FISCLJAX.com. An accountant. Been doing it for, like I said, 11 plus years. Y'all need an accountant, bookkeeping, financial manager, or CFO. Y'all can find me. But Eloure is my baby.
Yes. Dee definitely keeps us in line with our numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. But I'm grateful.
Look, I'm hard
Yes.
and I'm firm, but I'm fair.
Yes.
That's true.
That's what the police
You
officer
have
told
our
me.
best interest at heart.
Heart. Even when we don't want to do it and find the little receipt he's asking for, you know. we
And
get
Dee
it
is actually very patient with us. He's not as hard with us, at least, as he says.
No, he's a little tough.
But mainly,
Yeah.
he's pretty patient with
Yeah,
us. So,
yeah, he's patient,
tough.
but he's tough.
yes, he can be tough. But we will have all of their information in the description box.
Yeah.
So
So, with all that chit chatter, hair, accounting,
right, entrepreneurship.
right, don't do it.
Right.
Not ready to jump in the deep end and drown.
The deep end.
12 feet.
Oh boy.
What are we drinking?
So this is Mama Juice. Mama Juice is my favorite segment of the show where we have curated a drink that speaks to Dee Jamicia. And this drink is called Building Assets. And it's obvious why. Y'all are building assets. Yes, for your family.
Bill Master.
You are. You are building assets. So I asked Dee and Jamicia, well, I kind of knew what they like to drink, but Dee threw a curveball in there and said he actually likes to put a hint of lemonade in one of his drinks. So I was like, okay. So Devin and I were walking around Publix. And I said, oh, this looks fun to try. So let me tell you what's in the drink. So it has 1.5 ounces of bourbon, 3 fresh basil leaves, a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, juice from 1/2 of a lemon, and it's topped with sparkling Sicilian lemonade.
It's good.
Sicilian lemonade. Yes, and that's building assets. No, we are not the mafia. But if you want the mocktail version of this drink, you will have all of those ingredients minus the bourbon. And that is building assets.
I like that.
Love it.
We're all building
Really good,
assets.
y'all. It's very refreshing. My type of drink. Got a little green in it. It's good.
Y'all want to put y'all twist on it, put some cognac in it.
Okay. All right.
Let's get to Mama's Corner.
I'm done with
Dee
you.
is giving us Jonathan and Jared right now.
He need a whole episode.
I'm just saying. Man.
Look, okay. So Mama's Corner is my favorite segment of the show, okay? This is our opportunity to connect with our guests and our listeners where they write in and ask for advice or give us a hack or ask us a question. We are no experts, okay? So don't sit here and say Devin and Kendra, Dee and Jamicia told y'all to do this. Now, if it worked, give us our credit. But if it doesn't, we say nothing, okay? So we have somebody who wrote in. Thanks. I love when y'all write us in. So, Mama's Corner. Hey, mamas. Hey. I love when they greet us too. Like, it makes me so happy. Okay, I have a question for Devin. Usually they have questions for kids. Okay.
What are they asking you to do?
Okay. I'm currently pregnant with my second child and I'm feeling a bit anxious. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to love my babies the same. How do I get them in and out of the car? Are these concerns valid? Thank you. Please keep going, ladies. I'm enjoying the diverse topics. Oh, thanks. So, Dee and Jamicia, y'all got 2 babies, so I'll let y'all answer her question, and then I'll add my 2 cents.
Can you?
So, she wants to know if she's going to love both her babies the same. How is she going to get them in and out of the car, and are her concerns valid?
I think those are valid concerns. I think as a parent, when you being used to having one child, you definitely wonder how you will split your time. I don't think I had a question about how I would split my love or affection, but definitely how to make sure that Nia, our oldest, still felt, seen, and we had that quality time with her while also caring for a newborn who obviously requires a lot of attention around the clock. But I think just like your first baby, it comes naturally. I feel like once that second baby is here, it will just click. I have no doubt that your love for her will be, him or her, will be just as, pronounced as it is for your oldest child. Getting 2 kids in and out of the car is a task, especially if you're by yourself. But
Add an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's not impossible. I know with Nia, a lot of times now I do that door handle thing where I get her out of the car and I have her come stand next to me and she has to touch the door until I tell her I'm ready for us to move, so that way she doesn't run away or do anything. Mm-hmm. So she responds to that pretty good. So you can try that depending on how old your oldest is. Yeah, one at a time. And I just call my husband for backup.
Yeah,
when I need them. So
I didn't know about that door handle thing.
Okay. Did you want to answer any other part of her question?
I didn't know.
Okay. So what do you do? How you get the babies out the car?
Oh, I tell Nia, you better stay right here. Don't move.
Dads are different. Y'all have a different tone, right? And the kids listen. They try to mama.
Like, you stay right here. If I can't see you, then we got an issue.
Did you have any concerns about loving your children the same, or if your heart was big enough?
No, my only concern was how much I was gonna sleep at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a concern about loving my children the same. Like, my concern was like, I gotta go through this again. I gotta sleep. I gotta figure out like what time I'm gonna wake up. Like with Nia was a little more like, I knew like Nia was gonna wake up about 3:30, and she was gonna wake up about 6:30. Mm-hmm. Naja, it's different. Mm-hmm.
Every child is different.
Every child is different. Naja, she gonna wake up. She might wake up at 11:30, and then go to sleep. Then wake up at 1:30. But we have established a role where between
not that lady's question.
I understand that, but I mean I get that, but it's gonna fall into that though.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish.
Go ahead.
Yeah, like I'm saying like where 11 to 6, mm-hmm. I got her, mm-hmm. and it's easier because I mean that does help with your not love, but it helps with your
bonding.
The bonding, yeah, that's the word. The bonding with the child,
just being able to rest, to have enough energy
to
take care of.
Because I mean, that's a real thing. Yeah. Like some people can't handle that.
Right. That's fair.
I'm some people. I need my sleep.
Yeah, Jared's way better.
Yeah,
way better parent than me when it comes to waking up.
Yeah, Jonathan is the parent that gets up.
Yeah, but we knew that going in. We knew that even at our baby shower, somebody asked, like, who's the parent getting up? Jared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solidarity, my brother.
So for me, I actually had those concerns of loving both my children the same. And I think because I had them 22 months apart, and I didn't feel like I got a chance to enjoy Drew truly. And because I found I was pregnant when he was 14 months. So I'm like, oh no, another baby. And it was unexpected. So it's not like we planned Jay out. So I was really concerned about that. But once Jay got here, all those feelings kind of went away. And like you said, it kind of goes like go mode. Car seats. So now Drew is old enough to unbuckle himself. So I have him unbuckle himself, and then I have him stay in the car, and everybody gets out on Jay's side. Okay. So that way Drew is not in, even though he's old enough to not run the street, and I never had that problem, knock on wood. But it's just easier for safety if somebody walk past and try to grab him, or I'm just more aware of my surroundings. So everyone stays in the car until Jay gets out, and then it's like, okay, I pick Jay up to get him out, and then Drew kind of hops out, holds my hand, and we're good to go. So that system has really been working for us. But I do like the door handle hand thing too. I'm just very like scary. So even getting in the car, Drew would get in, climb in his car seat, buckle himself in, and then I'll get Jay in. So it's like one way in, one way out for everybody. And that seems to work. But yeah. And I make sure that Drew's door is locked because I'm scared somebody going, oh, I'm paranoid. Open the door and try to steal my baby.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So go ahead. What were you going to say?
What's the young lady's name?
Oh, we don't give names.
Oh, we don't give
No.
names. Get you a pistol, baby.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a great question. Y'all keep writing into Mama's Corner. I definitely love it. And y'all know I try to match up the questions to our guests. I knew you were parents of two, and I wanted to hear your input about that. So we try to be strategic about Mama's Corner. Yeah, so this is great. It's okay.
Stand in your truth. That's okay.
That's right.
Look,
It's okay. This the real mama pie.
grab my child.
Okay. Well, until next time. Bye.
Bye. Us at the Real Mama Pod.
Yes, every Thursday night. Y'all could be anywhere.
But you're hanging out with us.
Yes, and we love it. So, friend, where can they find you?
They can find me anywhere they like. I'm on Instagram at KendraFerg_. And I'm also on Facebook, Kendra Ferguson.
Okay.
What about you?
And you can reach me at DevGrace_. Instagram, TikTok,
Pinterest, Twitter,
Facebook, Twitter, all of that at The Real Mama
Pod.
Yeah, so make sure you follow us. If you want to learn more about Kendra and I, you can check out our website where we have Mama merch. Hey, you can see our little sweatshirts.
All right. Yeah. We are wearing our Mama merch.
Yeah, we have sweatshirts, hats, necklaces. We also have Rich Auntie merch. So you can purchase that at www.therealmamapod.com. We're so corny.
I know.